Hey everyone, meteorologist Alex Williams here with you in the Weather Impact Alert Center. And yes, we are still tracking a storm. As far as details changing, not a whole lot. We're just kind of really hammering home the details you need to know in order to stay safe this weekend. You can see the live stream. I'll just pop that back up here for you again. Let's see if I can do that again. There we go. So that behind me is our 24/7 radar. And so you can access that on WFMY Plus anytime. You just kind of scroll to it. It's got great music to it, a little jazzy local 8s feel if you like the Weather Channel local on the 8s. If you don't, you can mute it. But it's going to give you that local forecast, as you see down here in the bottom, for different areas across the triad, and also let you track radar. Now, it does show, notice, that we're seeing some snow. But that's not making it to the ground necessarily, and I'll explain why here in just a bit. Plus, we also want you and your input so that you can get in on this chat. So I'm not just talking to myself. As much as I could do that, I'd rather talk and answer your questions as well. So here is the graphic for that, and we'll go here. Yeah, so you got any questions for us? Text us. We'd love to see it. All right, 336-379-5775, and include your name, your location, your question. Please include your location. Otherwise, I'll just make a general broad brush of it. But if you have a specific location in mind, let me know. If it's a town that's not super well known, let me know what county it's in. That'll help me locate you a little faster. All right, so there again, 336-379-5775. Also, this text line is open during the storm for you to text in your pictures, text in video. You know, you want to let us know something's going on, you can let us know on this as well. And so we'll have a team watching that. Watch for your pictures. Send us your pictures. We love to see your pictures, right? This is a great way to do it. Text them to us. Just put your picture in, text the number, boom, picture sent to us. We'll ask for permission, although since we're asking for pictures and you're sending them, you're kind of giving us permission, but we'll ask permission to use it, and then we can share it in our newscasts. And we got a lot of coverage coming up for you this weekend, so we'd love to share what you're seeing, because you guys are our eyes and ears out there. As meteorologists, we're kind of stuck behind the dust, the instruments, the tools, and everything like that, where you can only do so much. So you guys let us know what you're seeing. That really helps us out a whole lot. All right, without further ado, let's get into kind of a little breakdown here in the next 10-ish minutes or so, and then we're going to do some questions as well. Not take 10 minutes for that, maybe 5 minutes or so. Go brief interview. I'll go quickly for you. All right, first we will start with the impacts. So we're expecting mainly this to be a snow impact. We are not expecting ice, thank goodness, or sleet, thank goodness. We're done with that. Good riddance. Get out of here. No more. Just snow, please. And so, yes, we're looking at moderate to high impacts from that. The biggest thing that we will see impacted is travel. It's going to be those back roads getting worse, and then the roads that we have already cleared, they're going to get snow covered again, and they're going to have to be cleared again. So be patient with that. Power impact on this part is low. We can't completely rule it out, because if somebody gets out on a messy road and hits a power line, that takes out the power line, and you could lose power that way. So don't have that on the high priority list, but maybe have a couple blankets on hand should that happen to you. Hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully most of us avoid that. Again, we're looking at that cold really building in through the weekend into early next week and sitting around, which means the problems that we have and we get over the weekend are going to stick around into next week. Isn't that lovely, right? Low wind chills also going to be a major factor that I think is going to be seriously underestimated. You do not underestimate this cold. This is dangerous cold. We're talking it feeling closer to zero throughout the event. So you want to go and play in the snow, you're going to flirt with 0-degree temperatures outside. At least that's what it'll feel like to your body. That's dangerous. If you're in that extended amount of times, you could start to get frostbite, hypothermia. Yeah, the list goes on, and you don't want to deal with that, trust me. So best way to do that is to layer up, bundle up, and then wear lots of layers inside, and then wear a layer on the outside that is waterproof. So that way the snow doesn't come through, because it is water-based, right, and get you cold and start causing some of those issues that we just talked about. So avoid travel on the roads. Just don't do it. We don't need to be out on the roads. No reason to. Enjoy the snow with your friends and family. That's what this storm system is. It's a fun storm system, but the cold is dangerous. We need to take it very seriously, which is why we've issued the weather impact alert days through the entire weekend into early next week, because it's dangerous to you all. All right, winter storm warning. Yes, pink. The entire state of North Carolina is pink, which is rare. I mean, that doesn't happen all that often. We have seen it before. And yeah, we're talking to beaches, seeing winter storm impacts. There is our winter storm, at least part of it. So we've got two pieces that are coming together. We've got an upper level piece that's swinging in, and then we're going to have a surface piece that'll develop. And both those together are going to produce snow over the next 24 hours, 36 hours to be safe, as far as impacts are concerned. So you see that snow band, that is from a boundary that's laying kind of west to east right now, and that's producing the snow across the Appalachians, back towards eastern Kentucky, even middle Tennessee, maybe seeing a little bit of some light snow. I don't know if that's necessarily coming to the ground. The other thing we're going to have to deal with is dry air. And you can see how it's pivoting. So that's the area of that trough that we've talked about, right? That cooler air swinging into place tonight. And that's going to make it feel really, really, really cold tomorrow. So there's a look at kind of a composite view of the radar. So we're going through all the scans in the atmosphere, finding the heaviest of that snow or whatever it is that's falling, plotting that, and displaying it to you. So a lot of times it's better for us to switch to a localized view, and that's what we're going to do here for you. This is the localized view. So very, very fine, very light snow blowing in through the mid-levels of the atmosphere. Now it's going to take a long time for that to reach the ground because temperatures right now are in the 30s. Guess what your actual dew point is? We'll get to that in just a moment, but I'll show you the dry air. We got to talk about the cold, though. It's so dangerous, and I don't want you to underestimate it. We got cold weather advisories in effect for the Triad tonight and areas east and to our west across the Appalachian Mountains on the western edge of them. We're talking wind chills falling to 0, near 0 to 9 above 0, and then tomorrow night we're changing it over, and we're talking extreme cold. This means wind chills below 0 to as much as 5 below 0 for the Triad. Very cold, dangerous cold. And we're talking into the mountains, extremely dangerous cold. We're talking wind chills below 10 below 0. So very, very serious. We got to take this serious. We got to bundle up. We got to prepare for it. There's your dry air. That's the 2 points right now. It is 9 and 10 degrees. That's how much moisture. Remember, this is available. This is a direct measurement of available moisture in the atmosphere. So when we're talking dry dew points in the single digits to lower like teens, and we're talking almost a 20-degree difference, if you want to think about it that way, between the temperature and dew point. That's a lot of space to make up. So we got to make that up. We got to get some moisture in here, and that's going to happen through a saturation process of wet bulbing, which that's going to take a little while. So needless to say, you see the flakes flying on radar. They are not reaching the ground. They are sublimating. I can almost 100% guarantee that they're doing that right now, going from the flake to gas and not reaching the ground. All right, so it feels like the 20s out there, lower 30s. That's not so bad, but it's going to be even worse. We're going to track this area of low pressure as it continues to develop off the Carolina coast. There's a couple of things I want to point out to you of note. Notice here, do you see how there's a big empty space? That's what we call a dry slot. So a lot of times with these areas of low pressure, they're like giant vacuum cleaners. They suck in all of the cold air above them to the north, right? The problem is what's cold is usually really dry. And so it's sucking in very dry, cold air. And now that's going to be a problem for this. It's going to kind of suffocate some of the snow to begin with and then cut the snow off for several people. The other thing that I don't think this is picking up on, there's going to be convective bands of snow, much like you would see in a hurricane, as Tim Buckley just described it in our meeting. That's a great way to think about it. There's pinwheels, right? It looks like a pinwheel. We're going to probably see a very similar thing setting up across the Triad tomorrow. It'll be several little spokes, and you'll get these like snow squalls that come through and kind of blast you with a thing of snow. Then it maybe backs off to more light snow and then blasts you again with another snow squall. Visibility goes down like that. That's kind of, I think, what we're expecting as we go into the day tomorrow. Don't expect this to be a lofty snow just falling down the whole. No, we're not going to see that. That is not in the forecast. In fact, we're going to add wind to this, so we're going to see visibility disrupted as considerably as we go through the day tomorrow. So stay off the roads, because even if you have an SUV and you're doing well, the wind could blow you around and get you fishtailing a little bit. Not a good idea. Stay off the roads tomorrow. Have fun at home instead. and or wherever you're going to be spending this event. Maybe you're trying to get out of Dodge because it's too cold for you. Forecast temps for Sunday morning, of note, lower teens. We could be in single digits once again. As we go towards next week, we'll have to watch the temperature trend. I will tell you, with fresh snowpack, your temperatures tend to go down by several degrees, and models can underestimate that. This is what it's going to feel like for your day tomorrow. Does that feel warm? No, it doesn't. Single digits, lower teens, very dangerous, and then it's going to get very dangerous as we go Saturday night into Sunday morning. No, nobody needs to be outside. It's going to be so cold. I mean, look at the mountains. That's 24 below zero for Boone. Very dangerous cold. Single digits are cold and dangerous for you as well. And of course, we're forecasting snow. You can see the dry slot there. That's what we were talking about with that dry air working into the area of low pressure. That could start to creep in here to portions of the triad. And so don't be surprised to see this creep its way further to the south again as we update and continue to watch the models come in. So that dry slot comes through 3 to 6. I would really think more 3 and then 6 closer to the south. That's the way you need to start thinking about this. Snow totals are going to decrease from northeast to southwest through this event. So, and again, heavier amounts are possible in those convective snow bands that we talked about. There will be impacts. Notice the red. Considerable disruptions. Disruptions in general, that's your kind of that tan color. There's a local radar again, but winter storm risk. So here we're looking at Friday into Saturday. So Friday morning through Saturday morning, we're looking at that disruptions expected. That's what that orange is. So we're starting to see disruptions already into the morning hours tomorrow. It's only going to get worse. Really Friday or Saturday morning into Sunday morning is going to be terrible. Look at some of the 4s there on there. So that's that considerable disruptions. But notice what has shifted. Yeah, that used to be coating all across the triad. Now it's shifting further to the south and to east as we get closer because of the dry slot. So it won't be as significant, but there still will be disruptions to your daily life, unfortunately. And then as we go from Sunday morning into Monday, we'll have some leftover snow on the roadways that we're going to have to deal with as well. So that's kind of the bones, I'm trying to think, something in bones of it. But yeah, that's our event. Again, here's our number. Text us 336-379-5775. We'd love to have your photos and love to look at some of your events. So real quickly, I've got a couple of minutes left. We'll pull up the snow map because I know that people are going to ask me about it. And that'll be the main thing that people is asking about, right? The impacts and snow totals. So let's go ahead and queue up some of your all's questions. How much snow will be received in High Point? Yes. So High Point is further to the south. Tim and I were talking about it. It looks like the dry air could creep a little further to the south. And if that's the case, be south of I-40 if you want snow. So we might pull that blue shade a little bit further to the south, the lighter blue kind of the lower snow amounts. We're just going to have to watch out and see because there's a lot of dry air. I showed you how dry the air is, right? We're talking single digits, double digits of the air. And so because of that, that's going to eat a lot of the snow totals to the beginning. And then we could see the not warm air, but the dry air work its way in at that dry slot in the middle of the system and kill off our snow. So that's going to keep us kind of on the lower side of things. I will say High Point probably has a better chance of seeing that 3 to 6, or at least maybe a little bit more than 3 or closer to 3, maybe a little over 3 than, say, Greensboro, just because you're a little further south. Now, there's not much difference in separation, but with these convective bands, you could get a burst of snow and be, a little bit more than your neighbor. That's going to happen, all right, people? So already, don't at us when you get higher snowfall totals than your neighbor or that we called for lower snow totals. It's going to depend on where's the dry slot work its way in, where do we see those convective bands start to set up, because that's going to drive who sees what. Yes, what time is the snow coming, Dom? Thank you, Dom, for your question. Snow is probably going to start up, I think, tomorrow morning in earnest. And we might see a few flakes blowing through the atmosphere now. They're not going to reach the ground. There's extremely dry air, stout dry air in place. So I think it's going to take a good portion of the evening for that to saturate and for us to start seeing it. Cal from Winston-Salem, when would the start time for the snow to reach the ground? Again, I think that's going to be kind of earlier tomorrow morning, probably maybe a few flakes before sunrise starting to reach the ground. It just depends on how quickly we saturate. I don't I really don't have high confidence that we see a lot of snow before sunrise.